Hola, hola, hola. Hey y'all, it's been a while. I ain't seen y'all in a minute. Y'all okay? Everybody? Everybody? Yeah? Hey? Hola. Hey? Tanisha, I've been seeing your name wrong the whole time and you let me do it. You let me call you Nisha this whole time and that's not even your name. Black folks, we just get comfortable with it. Don't let me do that to you no more. Sorry. I just, after all this time, hey, Miss Agnes, hey y'all. We going door knocking today in a minute. Okay? I need this to be right. This is not right. Hold on, y'all. 'Cause that's why we going door knocking, because this right here be driving me. Hey everybody. What y'all doing? Y'all been okay? Everybody been okay? Do I need to? Probably. Ooh, hey. My great auntie called me Nisha my whole life. Oh, okay, good. Then I'm in the family then. I'm like auntie then. All my they still get y'all. What is these burnt biscuits, busted biscuits on the top of here? Goodness gracious, menopause is doing me dirty. I'm gonna have to start doing some exercise or something. So you're washing your house, power washing it. Hey Pumpkin, hey Kanisha, hey y'all. Y'all feel real close. I know it's these magnifying glasses, but y'all feel real close. Y'all feel like y'all right here. Reading the book of Joshua. Good job. I've been talking to my kids and you at school. Oh, okay. Tell the babies I said hi. You about to quit? You about to quit washing your house? Okay. Working. Got my earbuds on. Okay. Okay. All right. I've been okay. I got a chance to talk to your nieces and nephews and just live my normal life. And I ain't did nothing but be in the house. But sometimes I don't want to be online, y'all. And I think this is a part of the burnout part of it, of being online and just always being the entertainment. Yeah, you be wanting to be entertained. And seeing as how he won't let nobody come entertain me, I just be here watching TV or just doing nothing, thinking. You said waiting for summer break. I know that's right. That part. I've been doing a lot of thinking and just soul searching. I've been trying to contact my family, and even my son said last night, that's pointless. Just leave it. Just leave it. And I'm talking about like my mom and him. But you're learning Paleo Hebrew. Pretty cool. So I'm you know, my baby said, Mom, I'm thinking about making a move. I said, oh, okay. Mama wasn't so crazy after all these years, was she? Matter of fact, I might have been one of the only sane ones, but we gonna move on. We gonna look. I got to get the moving stuff around now. We gonna move on. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what it is. I won't even say that it's chill because the devil been on my head. I don't have anxiety attacks. I had an anxiety attack yesterday. And I don't want to put that out there because I don't want to make nobody else feel that. Because I know sometimes my emotions come over to y'all. So don't be anxious. But I did. And I was like, what the heck? I had to go lay down in my bed, drink some water, like our grannies used to tell us, and pray the spirit of peace, hun. I was like, whoa. Heart started beating fast out of nowhere. I was like, what the hell is this? I didn't know that was a panic attack. It might have been the coffee. Because I'm drinking coffee. I don't normally drink the blue one. What is it called? Maxwell House. I don't normally drink that. And so that might be the problem because I normally drink Folgers. But Folgers then got real expensive and I already had that in the cabinet. So I just been using it. But I think it's the coffee too. Because I can drink back-to-back cups of Folgers. This stuff, high octane. And with my meds and this together, oh no, that don't work. That don't work at all. I said, oh no, this ain't gonna do. This This, I gotta get back to my folders. I ain't gonna be able to do it. That's crazy. Mm-mm. I don't see how y'all drink Maxwell House. That, it's like, I mean, I ain't never experienced um a type of speed, but I can guarantee you that's it. That's the feeling. I don't like my heart beating fast like that. I'm learning to just leave it, no response. I'm just trying to make sure my heart is right. I'm getting tired of thinking when these thoughts get to tripping. That part. Girl, I went and laid in my bed and then was up at 12 o'clock at night making meatloaf and mashed potatoes. And ate and went to sleep. Woke up about 8. I said, oh, okay, let me get up and go to work today. And then okay. So I want to say this because one of the last classes that we had, like when I read something new, y'all, I don't know everything about it. I might have to read it twice. I might have read it a long time ago and I don't remember reading it. So, one, I'm not perfect. And two, I be wanting to share stuff with y'all that I read, but then that's why I say I don't know all about this or whatever else it is. This is my first time reading it, and I want to share it with y'all. But sometimes when folks get to asking me a whole bunch of questions, and I've already said, hey, I just want to share with y'all what I read. I don't know the ins and outs of all of it. Sometimes I think that go over people's head, and then it's like trying to fact check me when I already told you this is the first time I read it, or I haven't read this in a long time, but I want to share it with y'all. So I want to put that out there that sometimes when I'm bringing y'all stuff, I might not be read it in 10 years, but I glanced over it, went over it, and I wanted to share a piece of it with you or whatever else it is. So give me some grace, okay? Hello? Hello? Please. I've not wanted to claim to be perfect here, okay? But I be wanting to share with y'all what I read. And I told my son last night, I said, well, I'm going to have to bounce this off of you because I forgot I read this and I read it again. And he was like, well, Mom, I said, hey, what did I just tell you? What did I just tell you? I said, I want to share it with you. But when I shared it with him, his mind instantly started clicking back to other books. You hear me? And he was like, Mom, Mom, Mom. I love that. I love that reaction. That I do that for this. Okay? So I might misspeak, and I'm not saying it's okay that I'm wrong. But if I'm sharing something with y'all, like when y'all send me new books and I start reading them, y'all know I ain't read it before. You know what I mean? Or you know that I've just seen this part of it, so I have to go looking and finding, but I don't get a lot of time to do that either. So that's what I've been doing, is taking time to go back over to some of the stuff. But I want y'all hear me? Okay? Because I want to share this with y'all. Some of y'all might have already read it. Some of you haven't. But I don't know all the answers. I read it and I want to share it with you. Is that okay? Don't start asking me a whole bunch of questions because I don't know. I don't know if it's okay. But as God brings things to me, I'll be wanting to share them with y'all. But if y'all get to picking me apart, I'm going to quit doing it. Okay? I be trying to put y'all on. God might lead y'all in another direction, but he just be putting the pieces together. And I don't have all of them, as y'all can see. He had y'all send me some of the other ones I've been asking for. Okay? We got it? Okay. I think that's fair. Now, I be wanting to share with y'all, but if I can't, then I'm going to be sad because I love y'all. But I don't know everything, one. And two, I'm learning as well. We learning together. I've been telling y'all that since the beginning. Now, when I go back through my journals, here we go. There's stuff that God had me write down that I just wrote down a name of a book or wrote down an excerpt from a paragraph that I read. But then now, because of all of this that we do here, there's so many different pieces. When I go back through my journals from 5-10 years ago, it's like, oh, I know the answers to this now. I know where this is. I know where they got that from. Like, so I be wanting to share my epiphanies with y'all. Okay? I love y'all. I can't say I wasn't back in 1978 BC. I wasn't back there. Okay? I'm just sharing as God gives it to me, and I be wanting to give y'all pieces of what I get. So, no, I'm just saying. Because sometimes, like, if I'm just, that's it. Okay? I love y'all. Okay. Okay. So, you wanted to share yours too. Well, why don't you have a website? Well, why aren't you going live or whatever with it? Why are you making a sad face and you got social media? Share it. Okay. Hello. I love y'all. And I missed y'all. Right. So I got some gifts. Let's start there. That's a happy feeling. I got noticed yesterday. And let me tell you something. Something told me to put on clothes and don't leave in my pajamas. Right? I said, I'm going in my pajamas. I should not have gone in my pajamas. I'm already online in my pajamas every day. So, there's that. Hey, excuse me. You about 41 years old or something. Something. I said. I'm about to quit telling my your business on this internet. Thank you, Auntie Judy. That's scary to me, and that now y'all see why I don't leave my house. You can't tell me that's not scary to you. I'm getting out the car, and somebody can tell me all my business, and I don't know you. And that's why Grandma go with me everywhere I go. Thank you, Auntie Judy, for my organic blue mushrooms. I don't care what nobody say. That's terrifying. Is it not? Do y'all think that's crazy? It could be 5 people in line that know who I am, and I don't know who they is. That is terrifying to me. You hear me? Okay, Daniel. Bring it up. Remember I said I don't be wanting to get on here because it's a lot of emotion and stuff? I was just telling you that. Bring it up. Bring it up. We gonna need it above a 75% today where I'm gonna get off. I can't do it. Okay? Come on. We do whatever you gotta do. We talked about it. If you want to get the message out, you will. You're not gonna complain about why not in this. Put it out or don't. I love you. Here we go. Thank you for my mushrooms, Auntie. I'm assuming you sent these too. I got some pink forest ones too. So pink and blue. You trying to tell me something? It's about to be some babies around here or something? Not around here, but maybe in my family. Here we go. Thank you, Auntie. I'm gonna start working on them now. I don't. Daniel, I'm gonna need you to go back and start washing your house. I think you need to finish. I just got on here and said, don't ask me no questions about everything I don't know. I ain't never dealt with neither one of them. Bye, Daniel. Go to sleep. Go take a nap. Thank you. Go on and take you a nap, brother. Please. Go eat something. I don't know if you hangry or what, but you killing my vibe right now. You are. I can't. That's why I ain't been on here. I can't handle all y'all emotions and mine too. No, brother, right now. But you pissing me off. And I don't want to be pissed off. That's why I ain't been getting on here. I don't want to deal with excess stuff that we don't got. I don't want to deal with it. Stop it. Or go ahead and stop. As you can see, I'm single because I don't want to deal with men and their emotions like that all the time. Now, come on. You see I'm happy. You can tell in my face I am. Stop it. That is not how you got to get attention from me. I don't like it. Damn. I'll be back. Not today. I will not do it. Daniel, you are on nap time for 24 hours, so anything you type, I won't be able to see it, honey. Okay? Because I warned you. I don't have time for that fertilizer. Now, back to what I was saying. I got some mushrooms in here. And I love mushrooms. Me and my kids just talked about mushrooms last night with my son. And then the mushrooms came. The mushroom man. So, anybody else that want to dump their stuff on me, I'm not taking it today. The trash can is full. Now, we got that? I love y'all, but not today. I want to have a great class. This is not always just the trash can either. Be mindful. It's one of me and all of y'all. And sometimes, excuse my language, that shit is overwhelming. It is. If the only time you heard information, it was 90% negative, you will start to feel like Eeyore. I don't want to. It's already enough stuff going on. Okay? When I can't calm my mind down, and it's not even my thoughts, it's thoughts about other freaking people that are inconsiderate, that I say I cannot do it today. I take on everybody's problems of people that I don't even know. Other people's family members call me for their family members and they friends, so it's not just the one person, it's 17. Please stop. I've been doing this for 3 years straight here and way before. Stop it. Sometimes I don't have the energy. I want to have a great class. I want to laugh. I want to have fun. And if I ask you to stop and you are grown enough to understand English and know what's going on and you keep going, that means you don't give a damn about my mental health. And I'm not going to let nobody take it. Do you understand? Well, you can't even tell me if you do or not. But understand, I don't have to deal with ish that I don't want to. We are family, but in our reality, we are also strangers. And I'm not going to let other people stress me out. Period. It's narcissistic behavior. Now, it's always a man. And that's why I don't got one. So, y'all want to dig into the goodies. Do y'all? Y'all want to know the two songs? We're going to do this real quick because I was supposed to start this with a song and I didn't. Now I know why he said that. I'm going to do it right now. We're going to do this.
What God promised me, it is for me. Come on, somebody touch your neighbor and say, what God has for me, it is for me. The devil can't have what God has for me. Hallelujah.
Let's do it. This was the song I was supposed to play. We're going to do that first.
What God has for me, it is.
And it ain't a man that irritate my soul. I promise you that. It's one that's going to make it better. Lord Jesus.
What God has for me, it is for me.
Yeah, no.
I know without a doubt that He
Yeah.
will bring me out. What God has for me,
Thank
it
you, Dad.
is for me. Can y'all help us sing that? Hallelujah. What God has for me, it is for me. See, the devil can't have my joy. He can't have my peace. What God has for me.
Listen, this, I was supposed to play this first and I didn't. But I'm doing it now. So here you go. Because guess what? Come on, baby.
What God has for me. If you really
This is
believe
right
it,
here.
come on, why don't you help us sing? It is for me. It is for me. It is for me.
All right. Musical interlude. All right. Good morning, pumpkin. See? Quick. Change. Sorry I had to cuss. Lord, please forgive me. Goodness gracious. Sometimes people don't listen. Okay, y'all ready? Lord, forgive me for that. And for those of you, yeah, I'm out of one that I'm probably going to like get in trouble. But because some people don't take cues. You know, they don't. And that's why I don't be around people on a daily basis. I complain about it, but for real, I don't be wanting to do it. I really don't. I say I do, but in my heart, I probably really don't. All right, I'm learning how to work these new glasses too, so there's that. I don't like this whole looking up thing. I need y'all to have my reading part right here, but we gonna get to that. So, yeah, let's go here. Now, Y'all ready to have class? Everybody you feel the tension come all the way down through the TV, through your phone, through your headphones. And I'm sorry. I don't have to do that. Okay, here we go. We're going to a website called, oh no, it's interesting, and I'm only, again, let me reiterate, I'm only sharing this with y'all because I think y'all will find it interesting. You will have to do your own homework. Do you understand? So please don't try to quiz me on what I know, because I read this a long time ago and then I read it again. Okay? And so then it's new to me again, because at that time I was just running through everything that I could once I found the lost books. I didn't care what it was, I just wanted to read it. So I took notes and read it and moved on. But we've cycled back to something. Some of you might have read it, some of you might have not. I just want to share it with y'all. Okay? We got it? Hello? Need y'all to say yes before we proceed, because I don't want that. I just want to read with y'all. That's it. That's all. Okay. So we're going to a website called the Rejected Scriptures, on Weebly, I guess.com. Look up the Gospel of Bartholomew, or Bartholomew. The Gospel of Bartholomew. And I found it on, they have a couple of different ones, but the one I want y'all to read, it looks, the ones we're going to read today, it looks like this. Okay? You know what I'm happy about? When you go to school sometimes, I'm not happy about it, but that's why I didn't want to call this church. So that way, if they be like, she be over there cussing, it's not church, it's school. And teachers cuss out students all the time. I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm telling you what happens in school. Teachers be letting it fly. And so every once in a while, there's a slip over here, but this is not church, it's school. So, moving on. That just in case you was wondering. Y'all ready? Don't trip me up. You said, I don't know about anybody, but when I get cussed out, I'm going to learn even better. Oh. Because I used to have to cuss you out a lot. But look, it prepared you for marriage. See? Sis came in handy. Yeah. Just getting you ready to listen, so that everything could be productive in your life. See how that worked out? Yeah. You said yes. Yeah. Tell him, Isabel. See? Yeah. You got you ready. Just getting ready. I love y'all, and I want y'all to succeed in everything y'all do. You see? Now, I'm about to have to learn how to work these glasses a little bit more. But did y'all find it? Because we looking in the Greek version. Y'all see it? And we skipping past all that extra part. Y'all know we get right to the meat. If you want to go back and read all that, I'm not reading. I don't want them to tell me what it's saying. I just want to get it from myself. Okay. Y'all ready? What you should see is, after the resurrection from the dead of our Lord Jesus Christ, Bartholomew came unto the Lord and questioned him, saying, Lord, reveal unto me the mysteries of the heavens. That's where we starting at, where it says Greek version 1. I'm going to give y'all some time to get there. I ain't tripping. I ain't in no rush. Excuse me. Don't eat meatloaf with a lot of tomato sauce and garlic and stuff before you go to bed. It's not smart. And I put some Jamaican seasoning, Jamaican church seasoning in there. It was so good. But I know I be having indigestion and stuff, so it's probably not smart, but I did it anyway. And then washed it down with some lemonade, just crazy. You know, sometimes we just do stuff. It don't always gotta be the best decisions at the right time, but y'all found it? Y'all ready? I'm trying to make sure everybody get there so that way they not asking where we at. I ain't even rushing. I want everybody to get to the place. Yeah. Okay. Are y'all already reading it or are y'all ready to read it? I don't know what's happening. What's going on? Because I got people talking about Peter and Barnabas and all of this crazy stuff. And I'm asking, are you all at the reading so that we can go? Thank you. Okay. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm asking a specific question, and I got folks talking about other books that they read. Are you reading this? Because we need to get to this, is what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. No, I was waiting on, because people were saying they was getting to it. I'm trying to figure out if we there or not, so we can go. Okay. Here we go. I don't know if I need these just right now because I got this big. So let's see. After the resurrection from the dead of our Lord Jesus Christ, Bartholomew came unto the Lord and questioned him, saying, Lord, reveal unto me the mysteries of the heavens. And Jesus answered and said unto him, If I put off the body of the flesh, I shall not be able to tell them unto thee. And they omitted it. See, the one I read is, but we gonna keep going. Okay. Bartholomew therefore drew near unto the Lord and said, I have a word to speak unto thee, Lord. And Jesus said to him, I know what thou art about to say. Say then what thou wilt, and I will answer thee. Now, I'm gonna stop right there because in the version that I read, it says something a little different, and basically Jesus told him, he said, Bartholomew, I know what you want to ask, right? I know what the answers to what you're going to ask. And then I even know what it is that you're not going to ask me, but I'm going to give you that information too. In the version that I read, but I just got this because we could all get to it. You hear me? Now, this is after Jesus has been crucified. That, remember when it said he came back and he was doing all this stuff. He was appearing to people. He was moving around. He was doing all of these things. He was showing up everywhere, right? He was showing up everywhere. And so people were asking him questions that he really wouldn't answer when he was still in the flesh. He said, but when I step into my divinity, I answer any question you want me to answer. Hey, sis. Do you hear me? Hold up. He said, while I'm walking in this, I'm not going to answer them questions. He said, but as soon as I shed off this flesh and I'm sitting in my divinity so you can see me for who I really am, then I'll tell you the answers. Okay. Can I put it to you in a 2022 to 2025 sense? Can I? Can I? There were some answers that you wasn't going to get until you took the world off. Period. As long as you was wearing the world and what the world said and what the world was doing, hey Cindy, and what the world, then you couldn't, it was certain answers wasn't gonna come to you. Who remembers me telling y'all about God stripping me in the beginning of this process? No blonde hair, no nails, no eyelashes, no heels, no this. And I'm like, whoa. He said, no. You said you want answers. Take the world off, and then you can get them. Be who I told you to be. Look like I want you to look. Go where I tell you to go. Don't go where I tell you not to go. I'll give you the answers, but if you still going to be running over there, it ain't no reason for me to give them to you. For what? You're going to take my secrets back to people that I don't approve of. You're going to use it to get in their face. So now, I'll wait. Because every single time that I'm reading in the Bible, the people that God revealed his mysteries to, they wasn't all over the place. They didn't have their, hands in nobody else's business. They was just chilling, and the answers used to come to them. They be sitting under a tree. They'll be walking on the road. They'll be sitting at a brook, baby. And stuff that kings didn't get, God was giving it to them. But they wasn't with the crowd either. You hear me? And if they did have a posse, it wasn't a lot of them. You understand? Just go back through and see. Now, when I look at when Jesus walked with the 12, And sometimes he only talked to the 9, and then sometimes he only talked to the 3, and then sometimes he only told the whole individual something that he didn't tell the other ones, and said, don't tell my secret yet. You got to wait until after I die to tell them what I told you, because it's going to put everything into place. Does it make sense that he said, Abraham, you are going to be the father of many nations? Wouldn't it make sense that that was a clue to us to find out what nations of people Abraham fathered? Because 9 times out of 10, Jesus or God had already set a system up to where a piece went here, a piece went there, a piece went there, a piece went there, a piece went there, and a piece went there. God believes in unity. So the only way y'all gonna see the fullness of me is if y'all come together. Because I only, okay, how did he do the land with the Hebrews, with the tribes? They got this land, they got this land, but he made sure that there was something in each other's land that they would need from their brother or their sister, so that they would have to come together to work together. Do you get it? It was strategic. You hear me? He did it with the disciples. When people were taken captive, right? Even before the disciples, when Moses and them or whoever it was, when they was taken captive, it was always a king or a leader or a high-ranking official that had the problem. And it was always an Israelite or somebody that God just brought out of a situation that had the solution or the resolution for the person that... Name one Bible story where it wasn't. How can you listen to God with the noise of the world in your ear? Come on. And that's why I be by myself, Missy. Because it's quiet, but it ain't quiet. You heard me? But do you understand? Well, God says, love your neighbor like yourself. Take care of your neighbor. You don't think it's crazy that wherever he placed the people on the other side always needed the other person? Because if that's the case, he wouldn't have talked about unity. You hear me? It's a real thing. Working together was God's plan. Division is whose deal? Being selfish is whose deal? Right? Right. 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 So when you think about the word, when you think about the clues that are in the word, there's information everywhere. It says that there is no amount of books that could contain the miracles that Jesus did. What does that mean to you? In the Bible, it says this. There's the miracles that Jesus did. There's no book that can hold them. Do you think that they were all only right there in Jerusalem and Palestine and Syria and Cyprus? You think that's the only place? Huh? Do you? If he sent his disciples out into the world, do you think he went there first to plant seeds? No, when he came up missing, where was he? Huh? Do you think he was planting the seeds? Because remember, he's God in the flesh already. He didn't have to take on some transformation. He was already God. So while everyone was asleep, could he have been in two places at one time, showing up as a child to his mother and everybody around him, but astral projecting or whatever it is, his spirit as his whole grown self that ain't nobody ever seen before, across the world in China? If he's omnipresent, could he have been doing that? Could he have showed up like a light all the way at the top of Russia? Could he? Because he was already showing up as a grown-up before he was born. Let's not forget that. It didn't say it was the baby Christ in the fiery furnace. I see the Son of God in there, a whole grown man. How? Well, he ain't been born yet. How you even know what he looked like unless he showed up somewhere else? So was he showing up in China, showing seeds in China and Turkey and Kazakhstan and Japan? Was he showing up? Because he didn't just show up in Jerusalem, and he didn't just show up in Persia. He didn't. Come on now. You get me? Do you? It's too much time missing that they won't give us. Now, we know who got it. But they couldn't sell it the way that they do and keep the confusion going if they say, oh, no, really? We know. And we actually have all of the information of 0 to 34 or 33 or 32 or whatever. They play with the numbers. But you hear what I'm saying. Do you hear me? Yeah. So do we think that he was just showing? He knew Abraham in an adult form. He showed him to the Viking as an adult. Oh, okay. He was a man and a child at the same time working around the world. Oh, okay. Y'all feeling me now? Y'all getting me now? When the light was created, was it full grown? In the beginning in Genesis. When the light that is Jesus Christ, that is brighter than the light of the sun and the light of the moon, because they are the lesser lights. Let me ask you a question. Was he a child or was he already grown? Because Adam was. And Adam is a reflection of the first perfect man. The first perfect man is Jesus. Is he not? It's hello. That's why he had to come and undo what Adam did, right? Okay. Now, oh y'all, if I could pinch under y'all arms. So I was thinking about this, and we gonna get back to this, but I just want to say this. I was thinking about it. You know how we read that in Adam and Eve and in Genesis and in all the other books, it says that God came walking, right? And he got off his throne, and the chariot of angels came down with him. If no man can see God's face and live, who came to the garden? Because Adam and Eve was the first man and woman. Have they been telling us without telling us the whole time? They always saw a bright light. We know for a fact that God was not going to allow Jesus to come to earth without the angels. So what if they just admitted all the times that Jesus, because sometimes it say God and sometimes it say the Lord. But we know, think the Santa Claus movie that just came out with The Rock. Given that vibe. Think about this, y'all, for real. We know that after he was crucified, he showed up to Thecla. You hear me? You said, exactly, Nicole. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, if he said what's right in front of their face, they still don't see it, right? And the truth has been hidden. Just. The perfect reason to hide it, the perfect reason to hide it, okay, is to discredit. Think about that. They give us some of, yes, Jesus showed up before he was born, but it's not a whole bunch of times. It's just a couple. But every time we get to reading the books that they don't like, it shows that he was showing up all over the place. before he was born, and a way longer time than what they told us about. They made it seem like in our Bible that it was just a little short while, but every time we read in these lost books, they used to be canon, and then they decided they wasn't. He was all over the place. All over the place. He was all over the place. You said there is the Son of Man and the Son of God in the Bible. Right. 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 What I'm saying is, if God is omnipresent and Jesus is the part of God that we can see, who is he sending? Do you understand that Jesus is the part of God that our minds can physically understand? Like, are you getting what I'm saying? Because if God were to show us himself in rare form, we would probably, besides combusting, we would lose our minds. So, do you see what I'm saying? So if Jesus is the physical portion and the Lord was showing up, or God was showing up and talking to people, who was it seeing as how he was the first being made? Who? Do you think that when Adam said, I'm sad because my eyes have been blinded, okay, and I can't see the angels ascending and descending, do you think that he knew what Jesus looked like? Because Jesus was there when he was created. Do you think that the first person knew what Jesus looked like? Exactly. So who, when the Lord came to talk to people, was coming to talk to them? Okay. You all have read Ezra, the extra parts of Ezra, have you? Who has read the extra parts of Ezra in the OTP? Raise your hand, please. God sent the angel of the Lord. God sent the angel of the Lord. Any of y'all know anything about kingdoms? How many princes is going out without their security guards? The specific angel of the Lord is the bodyguard to Jesus. So if I'm going to send my son to earth for a trip for a minute, I'm sending my best warriors because Lucifer wants to get him and his angels rule this. So when the angel of the Lord, or the security guard of the Lord, was showing up, was the Lord there as well? Because they got dominion here. So you got to check in at the gate, babe. This is a kingdom. Jesus said, open the gates in the lower kingdom, down in Hades, because that wasn't his kingdom. So he gave them respect and said, open the door, the king is here. Open the door, the king is here. Open the door, the king is here. That's a different dimension from this one. So Jesus wasn't coming on earth and the fallen angels didn't know, because this is their kingdom. They knew when he was coming and going and coming and going. So then kings and princes don't travel without their security. So what if this whole time they've been playing in our face and saying, yeah, Jesus was showing up. That's why security was there. Who was the angel of the Lord? Because when it... Maybe this is how he could wrestle with the Lord. I don't know. I mean, yes, I'm just throwing it out there. But is y'all picking up what I'm putting down? If he's omnipresent in Jesus, he gave Jesus that ability. You know for a fact he was just not in Jerusalem and all of those places. I'm just saying. Yes, he did that. That's how he even know. They even know what he looked like, because they said, what are you doing here? Oh, okay. Okay. You said it's like being on a diplomatic mission, and no diplomat is... Oh, do you... Y'all picking it up? Did y'all get it? So y'all got it too then. Y'all did. Y'all got it. Y'all picked that up. Huh? Ain't that good? This is how they knew he was about to be born. This is how they knew. Think about all of this. He had been here in the spirit several times. You know what I'm saying? But he was coming in the flesh. And like that. The man that they had, because think about it. He was hated before he got here. How? All the kings of the earth heard about this king that was going to be born. They've been hearing about it for years. But he had already showed up in Babylon, did he not? Persia. He had already showed up, and they said, hold on. How you know what God looked like and he ain't been born? Make it make sense? Unless he already been showing up. Because how did everybody already know who he was? But then when he came in the flesh, nobody knew who he was. Make it make sense. They knew what he was going to look like. He hadn't been born. When he was born, nobody didn't know him. But all before this people is unalive, and all kind of people to make sure he not born. Something is not. And it just ain't. Something ain't adding up here. You said that demon knew who he was, and they tried to trick him. And they know. Listen, come on. Come on. The spirits knew, but the people, if they knew exactly, they knew the line he was coming out of. You hear me? The demons knew, but I'm talking about the people. He wasn't even born yet when Shadrach, Meshach. You get what I'm saying? How are you seeing somebody that ain't? Did you see what your kids was going to look like at 17 before they was born? Before you even met their daddy or mama? You seen a picture of them? How do you know? And then how do you put a name to that? Unless that's like 10 years ago, y'all saying that's CERCA. You get what I'm saying? 10 years ago? Even 20. CERCA wasn't even a thing. That name didn't click till 22. So to even associate my face with the name CERCA didn't start until 22. But it's people now that if they show you a picture of me, they're going to say that's CERCA. No? Jesus came and arranged the circumstances of his birth with Abraham because he came from Abraham's chosen nation Of course, the old kings hate when their legitimate heir to their kingdom is born. That's crazy. I was just thinking, if I would have got a glimpse of my baby a year ago, I wouldn't know who that was. This, who that is. Maybe their spirit could feel him. Spirit pulled toward us. Spirit towards us. Yeah, that could be a thing as well. But I think they've been hiding the truth right in front of our face. That's what I think. I think they've been hiding the truth right in front of our face. And because we're told what to see, we don't see it. But if he's omnipresent, and he's been omnipresent from the beginning, that means he showed up on day one, and he could show up every day after that, because he can be in two places at one time. Because we still don't even understand completely how matter works, and alternate realities and dimensions and wormholes and all of we still don't understand. He's the creator of it. All of the technology, you hear me? All of the technology that we are trying to achieve right now, T, I get what you're saying. I hear you. You do understand that I understand the spirit, and I've had spirits come to the surface. I get what you're saying. But I'm telling you, it's some stuff that's right in front of our face that we didn't see. Now, you don't have to agree. Again, this is my opinion of what I am reading. You might not have been in class, but I need you to go back and listen to the first part of it. Please. Not when I was going off on folks, but the very first part of it. Okay. Thank you. All right. A hologram is with technology. Exactly. What if a wormhole is an angelic heavenly mode of transportation? Okay. Thor? The Marvel Universe? How do they get around? No. Me and my son just talked about this last night because we read this. What we gonna read today? And his mind was all over the place. He was like, oh my God, Mom. You know, he watched anime. He watched all these different sorts of things. So his mind was in all the books that he went and started grabbing books. I said, oh, that's good. It's real good to me. I'm grateful you did that. Because I know it got your mind going. And it was at 12 o'clock. Well, it was 12 o'clock here. It was like 10 o'clock there. But he was eating, smacking, and watching. Also, thank y'all for telling me 3,000 years long, or whatever. He's watching that. So we'll see what he says today. Okay. So, anybody else toes wiggling? Is it making you think about certain situations? Is it? Is it? Okay. Does omnipresent mean in heaven and on earth and under earth at the same time? Do you believe that God is omnipresent? So does that mean that he can show up here now and still not have come back for mankind to see him? Can he show up in a hologram now, or a way now, or is he only omnipresent? And I'm not saying show up for the rapture and the cracking of the sky. I'm saying if he's omnipresent, can he be on the throne in heaven and here at the same time? And we wouldn't know it until he wants us to know that he's made an entrance. I'm just asking a question. So when he says you could have done it, if you've done it to the least of them, you've done it to me. Could he show up in a child as a child in a children's detention center? Could he show up as a nurse or a cleaning person in a hospital? Could he be the EMT? God, please. I wish I knew if I ran into you during this time. Because if he's omnipresent, it doesn't start and stop at one time, right or wrong. If he can be in heaven and on earth, yes, yeah, yeah, he can be in a chat. Ooh, I see why I say it's gonna be gnashing of teeth on Judgment Day. I can feel it. Yeah, yeah. Listen, think about it. I mean, he said he got eyes that roam to and fro. Well, if he the one using them, and he just showing up in all kind of different situations, I mean, he said it. He said, even in the dark places, I can see in there. I'm in there. I can see everything you're doing. What if he is a person in every room? What if he is the feeling when you look back and you be like, what the heck? Or you crying and you feel something touch your face? Look here. Y'all didn't have it happen, but it didn't happen to me. I didn't feel like somebody was staring at me in the room, and it wasn't a scary feeling. I didn't have the evil feeling like, ooh, the blood of Jesus. But I didn't have another feeling like, and I might have been crying or something. They didn't model Big Brother after Jesus' omnipresence. Yeah, he's everywhere and sees everything. Think about that. Or one of the times when you scared and you're just like, you know, and it's just you feel Jesus is omnipresent as well, and he's a comforter. Maybe this is also where the android thing comes from. The robots, they all look exactly the same, but they have different personalities. But if you see them, you know the color. Like, think about that. The calmness can. Oh, interesting. Then we talk about Jesus making himself look like Paul because that's who the people wanted to see, still in front of God and didn't know it. This pumpkin, you put in your pieces. Cause it took me that look. Listen, we all in it. Listen. Okay, I just want y'all to go through. I gotta run to the restroom. I want y'all to run through your mind and think about situations where you felt like it was an angel, not necessarily a bad one, but an angel or something like that. Like, wow, that happened to me last night. I couldn't sleep. This overwhelming calm came over me and I slept. Listen. 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 This is how he gonna know everything you did. Y'all. Y'all. Do you realize, like, every time you get in an Uber, he could be an Uber driver. He could be the lady at the grocery store. He could be the lady at the person. I'm not gonna say lady, but the person at the, like, he could be a kid in the room to see how you would treat kids. So if you mistreat kids and you walk into a room and there's this kid that just won't quit cutting up, or you're just being mean to them, like, he could be the bum on the street. He could be so many people. Yep, I be seeing white lights and thinking I'm crazy. Second Baruch in real time. I couldn't sleep last night, and I normally don't sleep. In the silence, but I turned over and went straight to sleep. Me and my mom saw an angel in the human life. Came nowhere and vanished after she helped us. After he helped us, I'm sorry. Yes, this is why we have to be kind to strangers. When I first found out how dirty my husband had done me, I was bottled crying, and it felt like someone held me and cried with me. I promise you this. Listen, you said you have so many stories since I was little. Okay, I need y'all to write down a couple. I need you to just jot down a couple. If you're driving at work and you can't, but if you can you just write down some times where Jesus showed up? And he been gone a long time, but he heard you and you felt his presence. And think about in Nicodemus when it said his spirit was released everywhere. But it also says that he's omnipresent and he's there and he's here and he's there and he's here. And maybe this is the being that always shows up, like y'all said, to help people, to cut them down. And most times, excuse me, most times they'd be like, it was a man. And he came and he cut me down. He pulled me out the boat. You didn't see him. He had on, and they was like, ain't nobody been here. You in the middle of the highway, and we watched the cameras. There's nobody. We only see you. And the person just walks off. Now, sometimes they do get it on camera. I remember back in the day, they used to put it on, and they did get it on camera where a person would come And they would help the person out of the car. They would just kind of come from nowhere and don't show. So was Dad the one who was on the bus with you? Girl, do you know I thought about that yesterday? You're going to stay out of my business. Get out of my room. Get out of my room. You all in me and my nephew, your nephew conversation. Listen. It made me think about my whole life. All the information that he would just drop in my lap. And I was young. And I'm like, what? Why do I even know this? And then people try to make me feel bad about the information. And whole time, it was a map it was a puzzle of pieces. And they're still being put together now. You said, woo, my whole body hot just thinking about the times. Listen. What if it's been him showing up the whole time? He didn't want no money or nothing. He didn't even want to take my money for that book. And look how that book didn't change people's lives. And it was everything that's happening right now. Literally. In 1995. 1995. That's crazy. Who? Who is? What's going on? He knew me before I knew him. Yeah. Well, I told you I got baptized when I was 5. I was tarrying for the Holy Ghost at 5, girl. I wanted to know God because I got tired of them demons coming in my room. The homeless man outside Boston Market I tried buying food for, he smiled at me and said no. I turned back around and talked to my mom and turned back and he was just gone. Okay. I'll be right back. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's making me, listen, I got so many, and now I don't feel crazy, but I didn't feel crazy back then either. I said they just don't understand, but now I understand. I do. Y'all minds going. Is they? Don't this make your toes wiggle? It make mine wiggle. Sorry if it don't make y'all's wiggle. It, like I said, I've been pulling out. It's so many. My so he said, "Mom, look at my bed." I said, "Baby, look at mine." Hey, Auntie, thank you for my mushrooms. Thank you for my mushrooms. I got them. I forgot we had one more thing down here. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't show y'all this. I'll teach you this. It's for you too. I think it is. Yep. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. You said when I moved to Illinois in 2019, my roommate put me in my living room so now I think my first shot I was put into a shot. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So thank you, Auntie. I forgot. I knew it was one other thing. So I got some organic blue oyster mushrooms and the um pink oyster mushrooms. Thank you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So now that we got that out the way, y'all ready? How did you get over here? Oh. Y'all want, yeah, we going? Ooh, we going. Okay. And go back here. All right. Okay, it says Bartholomew therefore drew near unto the Lord and said, I have a word to speak unto thee, Lord. And Jesus said to him, I know. Oh, we did this already. I'm sorry. Well, 6. Excuse me, y'all. And Bartholomew said, Lord, when thou wentest to be hanged upon the cross, I followed thee afar off, and I saw thee hung upon the cross, and the angels coming down from heaven and worshiping thee. And when there came darkness, I beheld, and I saw that thou was vanished away from the cross. And I heard only a voice in the parts under the earth, and a great wailing and gnashing of teeth on a sudden. Tell me, Lord, whither thou wentest thou from the cross? It was dark. Remember? It was an eclipse and the whole earth was dark. They couldn't see. Because of spiritual, y'all. It says as soon as he gave up the ghost, immediately he was in Hades. It say that in your KJV. Hello? You know what else happened during the darkness? An earthquake. Where's an earthquake start? The rumbling and bumbling. Y'all. Again, I'm just sharing with y'all what I read But wait a minute. That reminds me of when you said our books written. He couldn't be. He didn't want to be that one. Y'all, you said, yep, rain, earthquake, and darkness. And people was running in, y'all. And Jesus answered and said, blessed art thou, Bartholomew, my beloved, because thou sawest this mystery. And now will I tell thee all things whatsoever thou askest me. For when I vanished away from the cross, then went I down into Hades, that I might bring up Adam and all them that were with him, according to the supplication of Michael the archangel. Then said Bartholomew, Lord, what was the voice which was heard? And Jesus saith unto him, Hades said unto Beliar, as I perceive, a God cometh hither. And the angels cried unto the powers, saying, remove your gates. Who are the powers? Who are the powers? Hello? Angels. And we know a third of the powers fell. Okay. Okay. Here we go. They was guarding the gates because it's a kingdom. No or yes? What kingdom don't have gates? Where the king and queen reside? Oh yeah, it's some. Okay. He said, saying, remove ye your gates, ye princes. Remove the everlasting doors. For behold, the King of glory cometh down. Where is that at in our Bible? In KJV. Where can we reference that? In our KJV, what I just read right there. Tell me the scripture. Please. It's more than one, I believe. But if it's not. They say the same thing. Look at these glasses, y'all. I'm going to get them together. We going to get this. Where does it say that? What scripture? Psalms 24. Lift up all ye gates. Okay. All you. Okay. We got it. So we know that there was the crucifixion. He gave up the ghost. The earthquake started happening. I guess once the last blood drop or whatever, we don't technically know how that happened. And then it got dark. Or however it worked. The blood dropped, the earthquake happened, it got dark, so forth and so on. So could it be possible that Jesus wasn't on the cross after that? Or maybe his physical body, could it be that he was gone for a split second? Because understand that he doesn't live in time. And I'm not saying he did, but doesn't that make sense? Because why would you make it dark, Dad? He know if the ground start rumbling, we gonna run. Could that have been so he can make a quick dash real quick and come back? Could it have been? I'm not saying it is, but why did it have to get dark? Psalms 24. Lift up your heads, O gates, be lifted up, O ancient doors, the King of glory may enter. Uh-oh, uh-oh. In a blink of an eye. So did he tell the disciples that certain ones of them would get to behold mysteries? Did he? Did Ezra behold mysteries that everybody else didn't get to see? Did Enoch get to go and do things that other people... Y'all, my toes is wiggling so hard in these sandals. Think about all the Baruch and all of these people that got to see things that the people right around them, God did not let their eyes perceive it. Yes or no? Like when a boy was worried and he said, turn around and look. And it was all of them angels on the hills. But nobody else could see it, but they was really there. No? So could it be possible that Bartholomew, because God had a different relation, he had a different relationship with each and every last one of the disciples, did he not? He did not have the exact same relationship with all of them. He had a different relationship with all the people that was around them, and he gave them each pieces and mysteries that he didn't give to the other ones. I read in another book that he wasn't on the cross even when they was beating him. When he was talking to John. Interesting. Interesting. He was in spirit. Interesting. Interesting. But think about that. Right? We've been conditioned to only see what's on paper and to not think outside of that. But there's so many gaping holes in the story. And I'm like, that makes perfect sense because he didn't need it to get dark. I mean, he could have did everything. Like, anyway, okay, here we go. It says, I'm sorry. It says, Hades said, who is the King of glory that cometh down from the heaven unto us? And when I had descended 500 steps, Hades was troubled, saying, I hear the breathing of the Most High, and I cannot endure it. But the devil answered and said, submit not thyself, O Hades, but be strong, for God himself hath not descended upon the earth. But when I had descended yet 500 steps, I'm sorry, in the other one it says another 500 steps. The angels and the powers cried out, take hold, remove the doors, for behold, the King of glory cometh down. And Hades said, oh, woe unto me, for I hear the breath of God. And Beliar said unto Hades, look carefully who it is that, for it is Elias or Enoch or one of the prophets that this man seemeth to me to be. So he tried to tell, Satan basically tried to tell Hades, hey bro, chill out. It's one of the prophets. They trying to act like they God, right? It says, but Hades answered death and said, not yet are 6,000 years accomplished. And whence are these, O Beliar? From the sum of the number is in my hands. Now, in the book that I read, it don't say it like that. It says, Elias or Elisha or Elijah and Enoch can't come until the 6,000 year to the end of the world. They can't come until the 6,000th year. That's when they get to show up. You said they recognize the breath of life in the place of death. Come on, of death, that part, in the place of the dead. Now, real quick, can y'all tell me what number in AM we are right now? In the year of the world? What's the number? And we know they play with the calendars, but what's this rough estimate they giving us on what? No, not 2025. AM in the year of the world. $57.85. Probably give or take a few years here or there because they've been playing with the calendars for a while. So this Bartholomew says, has it been 6,000 years yet? Because if it hasn't been 6,000 years, that's when Enoch and Elijah are going to show up. Now, of course, what if they playing with the dates, right? And the 5785 is 5795, because we know they going to put out what they want us to know because they want us to be behind and whatever else, right? Just hear me now. God created the world in 6 days, and then what happened on the 7th day? Okay. So they're saying we are close to the year of 6,000 years right now. They say 5785, but what if they done took 200 years off and it's 5985? You see what I'm saying? Like, cause y'all know they eat, all of the folks say there's time missing, right? They can't really, they don't know, they try to pinpoint. What if we are actually in 5995 or 55? What if we are that 2-3 year 100-year period that they all be acting like they don't know about? What if we're there? What if we're there? What if we're at the end? The number of man is what, y'all? When you did it, you got 5994. 5985, it lines right up with 2030. Okay. In the 6, when it hits the 6,000, when right at about the 6,000th year, and then it said it's gonna be a period of 1,000 years after he destroyed the earth, where he gonna do what? Now we read a couple versions, but who remembers us reading that he's going to take 1,000 year break and the earth and everything is just going to stay void for like 1,000 years, and then he's going to unveil the new Jerusalem. Do y'all remember that? Maybe that's why he said we don't know the day nor the hour or the time, because he knew they were going to play with the time. This nephew, and they're changing the time. They're trying to change the time again. The number of man, 6, 6, and 6. Yeah. And that 1,000 year rest period, same thing that happened when he made the world. It was 6,000 years of him creating it. And from the 6,000th year to the 7,000th year, he chilled out. As it's going to be in the beginning, so it's going to be at the end. He's the beginning and the end. How it starts is going to... I said, wait a minute. He said, Hades said, it ain't been 6,000 years yet. You said if we follow Enoch calendar, we can kind of know when he coming. Okay. But I'm just saying, do you hear me? Y'all feeling what I'm saying? The number 6, God told us it's going to be the number of man. The 6, okay. What if we about to be in the 6,000th year, and that's why everything is... Oh my goodness. Now, these are only my speculations. I don't know for sure, but this is how I ask the questions, and then he later sends me whatever I need. I'm just telling y'all what I've been thinking about. I got another thing for y'all. Okay? You said it puts us online for 2030. Okay, well, let me ask you a question. So, it says that the 70 weeks of years in Daniel is 490 years, right? Yeah. The 70 weeks of years in Daniel is 490 years. Right? Yeah. It's 490 years. Okay? So, do you know that 490 years from 27 was 1537? Would y'all like to know what was happening in 1537 in Britain and in London and Europe in 1537? One of the kings and the royals started saying it was about who was considered a human and citizen, and that people should not be enslaved. And it's also a time when people started to go into Africa and bring slaves over to Europe. And so some of the kings were supposed... This is 1537. So they came to Africa in 1537 and 1535, earlier, a little bit earlier, and they was bringing people to Europe to be slaves. And then about 1537, it was somebody saying they should have rights. You can't treat them like that, and this, that, and the other. You can't own slaves, and blah, blah, skip. And it went from there to the Americas. It was some time after, because this is 1537. And we know that it was black people here before, but there were some people that came over, right? Okay. 490 years from 1537 is 2027. And a lot of the same things that was going on right now is going on in America and all around the world about who's considered a citizen, who should be enslaved and not enslaved. It's very interesting. The history is repeating itself right around the time. When you said the word year, the sound went completely out of my phone. Like I could hear the background noise, but your voice went completely quiet. Interesting. You said just about maybe black people are not enough with the rest single bride during this time. Okay. Slave trade just getting started. Interesting. Uh-oh. Go look at it real quick, see what they was talking about, and look at what they talking about right now. I said, oh, interesting. 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 So if we are in the 6,000th year, or getting close to the 6,000th year, what if we're 2 years, like 5998 for real? I'm not saying we are, but what if we are in 5998 right now? And in this book that they hid away and they said, don't believe it, it said it was going to be the number of man. In this year, in this time, it was going to be the number of man. 6 is the number of man. And if we are going into the 6,000th year, or close to the 6,000th year of this world existing, that is alarming a little bit. Because they play with the calendars all the time. They play with the days. They play with the skin color of folks. They've hid so much information. And I remember in 1988, I told y'all this. It was an old preacher that came to our little apostolic church where you had to wear hair coverings. And he said, the scientists have said they really don't know what time we're in, because there was a time. And I believe back then he probably studied these books. I don't remember them bringing him back. But he said that the devil had changed the calendars and the time. And there was a time, now this was in 1988. I'm 8 years old, and I remember this. I had a nightmare that night. That's when I dreamed about God coming back. Like, one of my first dreams about God coming back was this night. That's how I'll never forget it, because I went and got my brother bed. He said that they changed the time. You said, yep, and the 2 witnesses preached for 3.5 years, to be exact. Interesting. So understand, because everything is lining up. No matter how you look at it, everything is lining up. I said, wait a minute. Just wait one moment, please and thank you. So let's keep going. Y'all ready? Y'all see? Do y'all see why I wasn't on here yesterday? Huh? Y'all see the... I said, well, I get with them in the morning, because this is interesting. You hear me? Here we go. It says, but Hades answered, we got that. All right. He said, be not troubled, and make safe thy gates, and strengthen thy bars. Consider God coming... consider God cometh not down upon the earth. Hades said unto him, these be no good words that I hear from thee, My belly is rent, and my inward parts are pained. Excuse me. It cannot be but that God cometh here. Alas, whither shall I flee before the face of the power of the great King? Suffer me to enter into myself, for before thee I was formed. Then did I enter in and scourge him and bound him with chains that cannot be loosed, and brought him forth thence all the patriarchs. And brought forth thence all the patriarchs, and came again unto the cross. And Bartholomew said unto him, Tell me, Lord, who was he whom the angels bare up in their hands? Even that man that was very great of stature. And Jesus answered and said unto him, It was Adam, the first formed. Now, y'all know that make me think about how they done played in our face all this time. And they always see Jesus carrying a man, a cut up, beautiful man, in his arms up to heaven. Who's seen that picture before? Anybody? And it's always Jesus carrying them. A version of Jesus, whether it be Asian, black, whatever. Have y'all seen that photo? Some of y'all got it in y'all house, in the bathroom or in the hallway, or behind the couch. Hello? You said I seen it. My uncle had it in his room. Okay. Now, I know that the book of Adam and Eve tells us that he came. So of course we're going to have to decipher. But Adam and Eve basically says the same thing. So I don't know how they playing this on that, but it said the God came down and ushered him. Now this is saying after Jesus. So again, I'm just reading this. I do not know how that all fits into there, but it's interesting that both of them say the same thing though. Now, deciphering the time period of when it happened, because they only gave us we don't have the originals, but it is very interesting that it says the same thing. The guy came down and took Adam, right? And then he got to sit at the gate and this and this and this. But it's showing two different timelines, right? With Jesus and then with God. But then think about it. Who probably came to get him even then? It's probably Jesus. So I don't know with that. And I know some of y'all like, wait a minute. So, and I don't know. But it's crazy that they say that it happened. Not twice, but it's the same experience. Should y'all get what I mean? Hello? Yeah. Y'all here with me? Okay. So I can't say the timeline or whatever, but I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. But either way it go, God came to get this baby. The body is here. Right? The body is here. But what if his soul was in one place? What if the omnipresence means that when he moves outside, it creates ripples where he can see the past events coinciding with the current? Right. That's okay. So, because what if it did happen simultaneously or whatever it is? Like, because it's the exact same thing. You hear me? That's why I was like, okay, y'all, let me just show you now. Because we don't really understand the whole how it can be here and there and there and here and there. Do you understand what I mean? Think about this. Y'all remembering Abraham? Where all of that stuff happened and then God just erased it and brought everybody back to life. It was like we do when we rewind. It really happened. All of it. Where the 7,000 people died and he let the ground drop in, but God undid it all. And he let an eclipse happen, and he brought everybody back and started it over. Did he not? We've all read that together, did we not? Y'all read it with me? All the people he unalived, he undid it. So would they think... They just showed us in a movie that they be doing it. Don't blink twice. Mocking him. Basically, which created the Mandela effect. Memories of a past event that's been removed from the timeline. Okay. 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 You said that's where the Avengers got it from? Now, I'm going to have to go watch it. I'm going to have to go watch it. I don't know that I've seen it to pay attention. They show us this in movies all the time. Okay. Kind of like, you know what? The Terminator and all of this, right? So, and that's the whole story about Christ, which is crazy. Somebody that showed up before he was born and told the lady that he was going to be, y'all, from an alternate reality, but he was showing up over here fighting with folks and showing up over there fighting with folks too. Ooh wee. The Butterfly Effect. The Loki series on Disney's Plus. The TV. Okay. Okay. I don't know what TVA is. Is y'all toast wiggling? Is the... Tell me this don't feel like we in the... Tell me this don't feel like we in the never-ending story. It's always another piece with a person connected from one dimension to the other, and they don't even know that they gon'... Never-ending story. And the pieces is just piecing. Yeah. Because remember, they was fairy tales in a boy's world, but Atreyu was real in another dimension. And they was reading about beings that was living in alternate dimensions, but it was all connected. Come on. And only the person that was looking for the information was going to find it. You say what now? Say it again for the people in the back. People that... You said, well, I got the movie. Good job. Here we go. All right. Now y'all see why I was like, please don't crucify me. Now I'm just trying to share with y'all what I've been looking at. Like Doctor Strange and his realities. And we all know that that's Enochian and magic. Is it not? That's Enochian and magic that they be using. And Solomon's magic. Is it not? And where did Solomon get the knowledge from? Oh, God. God gave him all the knowledge of everything. How to talk to animals, how to talk to ants, how to talk to bugs, how to talk. Oh, okay. He probably could talk to plants and trees too, and they talk back. So here we go. And they showed us that trees can talk in all kind of shows and movies and whatnot. But we gon' the past timeline runs concurrent with ours because he exists and is active in both, due to him existing beyond our dimension and outside of time. Girl, he was in the past. He was there before the past was the past, and he's our future as well. Exactly. He exists in. We talked about that. All the he sees it like it ain't no past, present, and future. It's all just how we seeing it right now. So he saw creation before creation, the end of the world, and all of our lives, slavery, and back to the all of them days, the giants and everything. He saw it all in one movie. He sees it. It's all in front of him at one time. It's not broken up into time periods. It's broken up to time periods because we live in time. He don't. You said it, babe. Men in Black with the world in the bag at one end of at the end of the movie. This I love y'all. You all are the only people, minus my children, for the most part, that I can talk to that don't think I'm crazy when I'm trying to show. No, for real. Just think about it outside of the box we've been taught. And look at all y'all minds clicking. Of movies that they've showed us, of things that we've seen. Yeah, because he said a galaxy don't gotta be big. A galaxy can fit inside of that jewel. Remember, they was looking for the galaxy, and it was on the cat's neck. Don't forget Fillory and how he was creating all the galaxies, trying to figure out how he was gonna make them look, and they was in cubes and this and that, and they was held in the hand, just like God said. He holds the world, and he is. You said, girl, I'm just me. That's a lot. Listen. Mm-hmm. It's the same way in Attack on Titans, creating a timeline to control and create a necessary series of events. Exactly, pumpkin. I love y'all. And yes, I'm about to go to the bathroom again because I've been drinking tons of water and cranberry juice and lemonade. Yeah, in Revelation, that's when the angels say, Holy, 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 the Lord Almighty, the one who is the one who is and to come. Exactly. Mm-hmm. He said, and what's crazy, I love all them type of movies because we living in one right now. Mm-hmm. Like at the end of MIB when the galaxy was a marble game. That's what she just said. And remember, the galaxy was on the cat's neck. They was tearing the house up. Sugar. Listen. Mm-hmm. And they showed us that all of the Jewish people that had the money and was the doctors and stuff that had all the diamonds, they was really aliens. Remember, the owner of the cat was Jewish, and I think the man that they was all the rich people that had access to all the information, and really their bodies opened up, and it was another being on the inside of there, like on the Ninja Turtles. Who do the rituals? Who runs Hollywood? Who runs the fashion industry? Who funds the Catholic Church and all of that? I believe it's a certain group of people that y'all always talking about. Look at the neck, and it look like stuff be moving through their veins and whatnot. And then they always have like the double eyes and all that. Y'all know them people? What y'all think? They've been telling us without telling us that the government is full of aliens. And y'all seen that man over there in Britain that was standing outside the Queen's thing, and he was leaned forward and his legs was knocked back, and then they had the one walking with the Asian lady, and her dude was weird. And okay. Could they be right in front of our face the whole time? Because it ain't nothing for them. If they can teach us how to color a person out of a picture, why can't they do it? They've been doing it for a long time. Like that baby said, the Mandela effect. We have to go back and be like, no, I remember this being this way. No, you cannot tell me. I know for a fact this person already died before, and now they're back. I remember this person died when I was 10. It was a star, and now they back alive, and I'm 35. I was watching a show called Beyond the Gates. The Daddy's Eyes had two pupils in this particular scene. I was like, hold up. I had to rewind it. Yep, I saw what I saw. Girl, they be since they be playing in our face. I be trying. This is why I say, listen. I don't be caring if nobody believe. I be wanting to know what's really going on around me. And God is always talking about the seen and unseen, the seen and unseen, the seen and unseen, the seen and unseen, the seen and unseen. The entities, the angels of darkness, the beings of darkness, the rulers of dark. Who? Then you think about it. Who does everything under the cover of darkness? The government. The rulers of all the lands do everything under the covers of darkness. And they pray to the leaders of this world and get their information from the leaders of this world. Could it be that all of the underground bunkers and labs are there because that's where the beings are that are trapped in the subterranean world? They teach from young, don't make fun of how people look, but from young we could sense the people you described. Okay. Why they ain't never up in high rises? Why is the real stuff always underground? Where God said he trapped a lot of the beings. And they go miles and miles into the ground, even though they tell us they can't go a mile into the ground, but we know they be lying. Because they got whole cities that's several stories and this and that under the ground. Whole cities. Under the subways that we know. Under there. They're under there. Could it be because they read these ancient books and they know exactly where these beings are, and so they go there and they get information? Because if you remember, I asked y'all to watch that show with Cooper Gooden Jr. in it when the army went over there into whatever, and they found that angel when they was over there blowing up stuff under the mountain. They went and found him, and he was trying to bring the plagues back to the surface of the earth. Do y'all remember this? God trapped them down there in stasis. Remember? In the devil's tomb. Well, think about it. We just watched what was the show that we just watched, and they had beings down there in stasis too. What was it? Was it the School of Good and Evil? What was that show we was watching? The School of Good and Evil or something. Remember? I cannot remember what show that was. Where they couldn't get down the stairs, and then they finally got down there, and one of their head witches or whatever was in stasis down there, and they let her out, and she was coming to kill all the kids. I can't remember which show because we watched a lot of them, but do y'all remember this? It's the same scene from the Devil's Tomb. Was that the show of Good and Evil, or was it something else? Do y'all remember? The School of Good and Evil or whatever? And it was like one of the old witches, Morgana or somebody. She was like trapped down there, and they kept lying and saying she was dead, and then they let her out. Well, some of her students learned, and they went against. Y'all remember this? And they was out there like having to do is it the originals? It might have been. I don't know if it's the originals. I think it was like the school. I can't remember, but I don't know. We watched it together, and the kids. I want to say it was the School of Good and Evil. I think. I don't know, but anyway, the same thing happened in there. They had a old ancient being, old ancient witch or whoever she was, and she was underneath in a prison like underneath old in a cave like system, and she was down there in stasis, and they had a magnetic field covering her, and they was trying to figure out how to get down there. And then one of her students, who was an old witch or something like that, she ended up finding her and getting to her, and they thought she was a student, but the whole time she was like as old as her. Because remember, they had like told the people that like the family had been burned or something like that, and that's how the boy or the girl got there. Do y'all remember this? And the whole time it was a lie. And they was killing, remember they was going out hunting them beast like things in the woods or whatever, and they was trying to keep a certain witch or warlock or somebody from getting into the school. Y'all don't remember? Y'all probably didn't watch it then. It's good, but it made me think about this. What we talking about? How they know where these beings is, and they under the ground, and it is the school of good and evil. Okay. But it make you think about like Harvard, and then even the magicians. They showed us this, and like y'all said, the originals. All of these different shows, they've been telling us what they're able to do, and this is why they go on those archaeological digs, and they are the people that teach at these elite universities, because they have access to these manuscripts that talks about all of this stuff. Because think about it, who's working on quantum physics and stuff like that? People that go to MIT and places like that, right? Harvard, the latest technology, the latest this and that, blase skip. Well, they also have access to literature that a lot of other colleges would never see. Old books, because a lot of the archaeologists and people like that went there. The way that everything is clicking, I want to throw my phone. My toes are already gone. The librarian's right. All of this, yeah. Look at my class. Now y'all see why I said I just want to have a good class, because this is a lot. We ain't even got down to the 20th verse almost, and making us think about all, and think about what we read in our giant book. It says that the people that make the movies are a part of the secret society, the Golden Quill. They are the warlordings, the war wardens, or the lore wardens. Excuse me. The lab and the golden compass, his dark material, girl. And if you, ooh, Nicole, think about, okay, we watched the Golden Compass in 22, 23, right? Think about what's happening in our sky and all of these, girl. And it was the blue, girl. And they was coming and snatching up the kids and doing experiments on them, taking their souls and their spirits, baby. Listen! I might have to go back through that. I might have to go. OMG. And remember, the beings that we didn't think existed in the movie was trying to get through and come into the other dimension. The talking animals and the... Do y'all realize all of the weird stuff that's been going on in the sky almost looks exactly how, like, when Lila and them was looking through into the other dimensions, and they was, OMG. OMG. Oh my God. Gordon Rose, the man on the way, bringing back the great. Wait. Yes, with Nicole Kidman. Yes. The reason we got the elite theometers. Girl. I'm gonna run to the restroom. I gotta pee. Sorry, y'all. Tabitha Brown put a thing about menopause up. Now I know I don't feel bad about nothing. Because she said everything I want to say. What is the archons? Are they the royals? They might be. Because they always talking about the lineage and how old they are. Think about it. Jordy Rose. And what the D wave is. Okay. Gordy Rose. And what the D wave is. Okay, I'm going to do it on my phone. Let me run to the restroom real quick. Jordy Rose. Is it Jordy? Jordy Rose. I see you, Dave. D-Wave Quantum Systems is a quantum computing company, which is basically what Lila's dad was doing. Sounds like a movie night. I think we should. Y'all think we should have movie night tonight? And just watch whatever came to your mind today so we can go back and see it if we see something that we didn't see. Oh, everybody. Did you watch the video that popped up when he was saying about the great Owens? No, ma'am. I didn't. I just went and looked at his bio. I am going to look at it, though. I will look at it. Oh, excuse me. So, we ain't even got all the way through here. This is a really good read. I'm already loading up the queue. Okay. So, let's get down through here real quick. We not going to read all of it, but I did want to. Okay. And so, let's do this real quick, too. Are y'all understanding how my study goes? It even more now? Because God will give us pieces to stuff. He'll let us see stuff. He'll let us hear about things. Each one of us has a piece. But then we go and reread this stuff and it makes all of the other pieces click. And that's why I don't want to get to a point where I feel like I still want new. And so people are like, why are you reading that? Because it's other parts of the pieces. Now, it might be mixed up. It might be beyond my understanding. Because if you remember, all of the information that God used to give the people used to be beyond their understanding, and they used to be like, God, Ezra, I need you to explain it to me. Or all of the other books, they used to be like, wait a minute, what did I just see? Wait, I can't comprehend. Like, it's beyond my understanding. So even with us talking about Jesus being in places before he was born and showing up in as different people and all of these different miracles and stuff, it makes the Bible makes so much more sense. And why he said that we don't really understand his majesty, we don't really understand his mysteries, and we don't really understand how much he really has done. Do you feel like you are learning about the mysteries of God right now? Do you feel like this is a deeper study than what we have been taught is just it? He said, I'm a great big God. Don't play with me. Oh, I got stuff that y'all minds can't even comprehend how it really went down. But if you don't look for me, you don't find it. So that's why I say when I read this stuff with y'all, I don't know all the answers, but look at how we putting stuff together just right here. You all have seen things that I haven't seen, or there's things coming to y'all minds that I don't even know about. But it fits right into all of our study. That's why he gave it to us piece by piece. And now it definitely makes sense why he said journal so you can go back this. Because understand that there was stuff that God told the disciples and the people, but he told them things separately because this ain't going to be revealed. You're not going to see it until after I'm not here. Or he said there's certain answers in this body I can't even answer for you. Until I am in my full divinity, I can't even answer that question for you because you just not going to get it. But once I die and I come back, then you'll believe me when I tell you type stuff. Yeah. Right? So look, here we go. It says, Jesus answered and said unto him, it was Adam the first form, for whose sake I came down from heaven upon earth. And I said unto him, I was hung upon the cross for thee and for thy children's sake. And when he, when he heard it, groaned and said, so was thy good pleasure, O Lord. Again, Bartholomew said, Lord, I saw the angels ascending before Adam and singing praises. Did we read that? We read that. We read that in the testament of Adam and Eve at the end when he died, that the angels went before Adam when they was taking him up. Y'all remember? Everybody was singing. Everybody was like, they was happy. You remember? We read that, but we didn't read it in here. We read it in a couple other places. So just think, okay, now look at this. Just think, if we had never read those other books and we ran into this, would we think it's a fake? Coming straight from the 66 to read this, you wouldn't believe it. But because you know that part of this is Nicodemus, part of this is Adam and Eve, part of this is Enoch, part of this is this book, because you've read those other books, you read this, your mind is already going back to books and stories that you didn't already read, like, oh yeah, this is the rest of the story. This happened over there too. They talked about this over there. But what if you never read any of those books? What if you didn't read the OTP? What if you didn't read Jasher? What if you didn't read the Jubilees? What if you didn't read Adam and Eve and all of the Book of Solomon and all of that? What if you didn't? And you read these or you read this? Yeah, it's gonna sound like this is made up because you don't know that these are actual pieces of other stories, but you haven't read them, so it sounds made up to you. You would feel like somebody was adding something to the Bible right here, right? But y'all don't feel like that because as soon as we started reading this, y'all minds went back to the stories that we've studied since we've been here. You said I'm geeked, just lost. I would have thought that it was a straight lies, but because you've read the other pieces of the story, you know it's not. You know that it falls right in line. Here go another puzzle piece. Oh, this fit right here. That is what a mystery is it not? And he told us to go looking, and you're going to find the answers. You're going to find the rest of what happened. From the regular Bible, does it say that God picked them up in a whirlwind and they landed on the top of a mountain? They got picked up in a dust cloud and they landed here. Well, we know that they had helicopters and stuff, but could it have been a wormhole? But a mini wormhole on the earth. Teleporting spaces. When it says that God snatched them up and put them, and he put them down on top of the mountain, and not Jesus, just the regular people like Elijah and them. Ain't that what it looked like when old boy Thor is coming to earth and shoo, they in another place? Huh? Using wormholes for instant travel, Dragon Ball Z, instant transmission. I don't know about it, but your cousin was just talking about Dragon Ball Z last night. He said the man that made Dragon Ball Z last year died on his birthday, and this year, because he knew he was going to die, he put out another story. Girl, y'all be all in my conversations, and there's no way I can know that because I don't really know too much about Dragon Ball Z. But we just had this conversation last night. Well, at 11 o'clock. It was yesterday for him. It was today for me early in the morning. Y'all be all in my conversations. I'm going to need y'all to stay out of them. Stay out my room. Get out my room, Day. Because I don't know nothing about no Dragon Ball Z for real. That's his stuff. And he literally, he sure did. Akira Toriyama. You said now you know how I feel. Be quiet. Y'all all in my business today. Dang. Because I showed it and we just talked about this last night. Listen. Shay, yeah. I love this class. In Zeus the Cartoon on Network, yep. They was able to go to and from. Okay. So did they not show us that in the Bible? Because I can't just say I'm going to be at Queen House and be there. I can't say I'm going to visit Auntie and just be there right now and then she's standing next to me. But they did these things. How was they just getting picked up and taken? You said, sorry, Auntie dealing with us. You have no business. Listen, this part. I know. Just none. Just think about, because when they read it, and he got picked up and sat down. But how that happened, though? Because carnally, that's not possible. You have to be in something to be moved. To fly from here to there. And the prophets was always X-Men Nightcrawler can transport instantly to any place he's been or seen before. And in canon, his daddy was the demon Azazel. Here we go. And then he be in a church. You know I'm an X-Men person. Right. Right. Hold on. Don't the stars talk about that? The stars talk about that. They talk about the different dimensions. They talk about talking to these beings, and they show us in their, do they not? Hello. MIB. Look how fast that car was. And they could blank out the memories just like I was talking about earlier with the timelines. What if there aren't any doppelgangers? Willow Smith, I think I left my consciousness in the sixth dimension. Okay. Okay. And your consciousness is your soul. And they always talking about how they meeting up with these beings in other dimensions, and they give them information about what's going on in ours. Now, let me ask you a question. Even in the scary movies, they say that the dead know what's going on over here. Huh? What if she left her soul in a sixth dimension, and just like in Insidious, there is another being using her as an avatar? Because remember, the little boy was locked in the dark somewhere, and it was another dimension, but his body was here. Think about people in a coma. They said, I could hear and see everything that was said around me. Because she said, but I'm here right now. Okay. I just told y'all the story about when I kept telling people I'm in this dark space. And the lady said, your daughter's. Now that made me think about when Willow said she was missing Tupac and she was crying. Doctor Strange, the mirror dimension. Okay. Y'all feeling it now? I love it here. I think we do a great job together, learning together. I always felt that consciousness was God and the Word of Jesus and the Holy Spirit was the God of character. Okay. Mind, body, soul. Is that not three? Mind, body, soul. Because a person can have their body and their mind is gone. Right? That's three. So could your body be here and your mind or your soul be somewhere else? It always talks about how their soul was taking up and God allowed them to see in the spirit even though their body was still on earth. What is astral projecting? Come on, Day! Can I get it out of my mouth, Niecy Poo? I love this class. I said astral projection, she typed it. At the same moment that I was saying it, Day was typing it. And now you see why I don't want to think like regular people. Tell me the mysteries. Probably so, Mr. Hollis. Okay. Witches do it. Warlocks do it. That happened to me. I've literally seen my body sleeping in my bed and then my spirit was taken and shown somewhere else. Yes, ma'am. I told y'all the story about me being on my kid's bed and I could see myself laying down, but my spirit set up and the door in the real world was closed and the door in the spirit world was open. And I went outside in the morning in the real world and that chair was turned around and that demon was sitting there. But in the dream, or the vision or whatever it was. I told y'all this whole story. Sure did. Oh yes. I told y'all when I was a little kid, I used to feel myself floating back to my bed and hitting my bed in real life. And I used to tell my mama, you said you've been having so much deja vu. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. Exactly what happened in Insidious with that little boy when he would be telling his parents, I feel myself in my bed, I fly. This. I used to tell my mom, she said, girl, go on in there and lay down. Okay. Well, all of my dreams that I was having back then, yeah, they happening now. It was so intense yesterday, I wanted to cry. I believe it. Girl, I had a panic attack yesterday in real life. I feel it. I do feel it. And I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. Okay, come on. Let's go. All right. All right, girl. That's why I had to be breathing when I got on here today. You probably wasn't in here, but I had to breathe. It's serious. Okay. All right. It says, but one of the angels, which was very great above the rest, would not ascend up with them. And there was in his hand a sword of fire. And he was looking steadfastly upon thee only. Where have we heard that? So Bartholomew said, as soon as you went and grabbed Adam and the people, the angels was praising when you about to take him up there, it was an angel that didn't go, and that nigga was looking like he was about to tear up something. Where have we seen this angel of fire where everybody was scared of it? Where do we know that from? With the flaming sword. Where? Yeah, Sodom, but another place earlier than Sodom. The garden. Remember the angel with the flaming sword? They was scared of him. They would pass out every time they got near the nigga. He was scary. They was terrified of him. He was guarding the entrance. Now Jesus then went down into Hades, grabbed these people out of there, tore up some stuff, beat on Beelzebub them. You don't think that while they on their way back to heaven, that he would have that angel standing there? Like how we see in the movies when a person stand at the door and they gonna guard so that everybody else can get free. Huh? What you think? I've done it before. I was in an accident. I actually think, but I heard the loudest claps and then saw my body go back into my body. Yeah. But think about that. So there was an angel there, guarding the way. Now, it says, and there in his hand was a sword of fire, and he was looking steadfastly upon thee only. And when he had thus spoken, he said unto the apostles, tarry for me in this place, for today a sacrifice is offered in paradise. And Bartholomew answered and said unto Jesus, Lord, what is the sacrifice which is offered in paradise? And Jesus said, there be souls of the righteous which today have departed out of the body and go unto paradise. And unless I be, see, they keep cutting it out. He says, unless he's there, they can't enter into paradise. See, it's cutting it out on here, but I read the other one and it said, unless he is at the gate to let him in, they can't get in. And Bartholomew said, Lord, how many souls depart out of the world daily? And Jesus saith unto him, 30,000. Now, this was in Jesus's day. Because maybe it wasn't as many people. I don't know. And again, now this is where me and your nephew start doing numbers. Because it said 30,000 people leave the earth. And I looked it up now. They say like 175,000 or something like that, right? But we in a different time. But in this, it was saying in Jesus' days, 30,000 people a day, like on a normal day, was leaving. Now we know it's like 175,000 people around the world a day die, right? But ain't that crazy? 30,000 people a day. Back then in Jesus' days. They was asking him all kind of questions. This how I'm going to be. Okay? But right now we have 175,000, roughly 100, I think it's 175,000 people now, something like that, that die every day around the world. Me and your nephew was doing these numbers last night because we was up. And I was like, this is so interesting to me. Okay. Bartholomew saith unto him, Lord, when thou was with us teaching the word, didst thou receive the sacrifices in paradise? Jesus answered and said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, my beloved, that I both taught the word with you and continually sat with my Father and received the sacrifices in paradise every day. What did that just tell y'all? Tell me what you just heard. He said, well, how was you letting the people in heaven if you was down here with us? What did he say right there? What did he say? He said, I can be in both places at one time. Ooh, Nicole. Was we talking about that earlier? Hello? I'm in heaven and I'm on earth at the same time. Nicole? Queen? Lex? Jamila? Esther? Do you hear me? So could it have been possible that he was on the cross and in the underworld at the same time, all the while still sitting on his throne in heaven? YouTube been trying to stop my comments. I keep getting an error message saying they're unable to send it. Yeah, they playing because it's good. That's why the drama was here in the beginning of the class. Because I know, listen. Y'all. You said, baby. I'm just. If he omnipresent, that means he is in heaven, on the earth, in the earth, and wait a minute. Because either you believe he omnipresent or you don't. It ain't no, oh, only in it. No. He's omnipresent all the time. So he, y'all. Yeah, when Jesus said, I'm in you and you are in me and I'm in the Father. Okay. Y'all, is this is hidden. Okay, y'all toes is wiggling. Thank you, Jamila. Is your toes in your shoes like this? Is you clicking your pen? Is you scratching your head? Is you biting your neck? What is your tech? What is you doing right now? If you driving, don't try to tell me. But if you it's been right in front of our face the whole time and we didn't get it. You said you'd be in my thoughts. So I'm thinking what they go when I tell my family. Interesting. Listen, you said yeah, just sitting here. Listen. Girl, I can't type or talk. My fingers is wiggling. This part. Okay, here we go. Let's keep it going then. Okay, I just wanted to see. Bartholomew answered and said unto him, Lord, if 30,000 souls depart out of the world every day, how many souls out of them are found righteous? Jesus saith unto him, hardly. Now see, in here it say 53. In the other book, it said 3. Did you hear what I said? 3 out of 30,000. I get this one 53. But when we read it last night, not on this website, because see, this website is missing parts, okay? It is. But I knew it would be something we could all find. Yeah. It said 3 out of every 30,000 gets in. Now, I say 53 right here. But let me say this to you. Who remembers when we read, and I think it was in Ezra or whichever book that was, one of those apocalypses, that it said 1 in every 7,000 is going to go? Y'all remember this? 1 in every 7,000. Y'all remember? Okay. So 3 times 7 is 21. I had to run and tell my husband what we learning like a kid, that part, and did. Hey, bro, think about it. The numbers is very close. Now, we read in Ezra or whatever else that it said, when he asked him how many people is going to be saved, he said like 1 in every 7,000. Now, he didn't told him in here, on this one it say 53, but on the one that I read, he said 3 in every 30,000 is going. That them numbers add up close to that 1 in every 7,000. It would be one more between 3 and 4 out of 30. Very close. So you know me and your nephew did the numbers. This say 53. The other one we did says 3. Which fits into that 1 out of every 7,000 is going to make it in. The song, I Want to Be in That Number. Listen. Right. And when we did the numbers out of everybody, it was like 92,000 or something like that. 92,22222 something. Just out of the people living, like if it was the 1 in whatever it is and all of that, it was like 92,000 or something. Or 1,100,000. It like depending on how you do it. It was 1,100,000 and something, or 92,000 for a certain whatever. So the numbers, I was like, it's still under 2 million people. However you hit the numbers, whether it's under 100,000 or under 2 million, it's 8.5 billion people on the planet. And that's not counting. He said a lot of people ain't going. The numbers ain't what y'all think. He said it's going to be a very small amount. And every time that we read in the lost books, the number keep getting smaller and smaller. Hello? It was 1 out of every 7,000. Now it's 3 out of every 30. Mind y'all, we not just thinking about today, because how many people was it living in the first 100 years? How many people was it living in the second 100 years? How many people was it living? So you got to think it's going to go by time dispensation. So it's going to be like everybody alive right now is in our group. So, and we'll say we in the 12th hour, right? The last hour, the 24th hour, 23rd hour. Say we in the 23rd hour of a 24-hour period. We are now in the 23rd hour. Like we would be the people living, working in the 23rd. Say everybody only worked an hour. So Adam them worked in the first hour, whoever worked in the second hour, whoever worked all the way down to 24. We'll say it was 24 time periods. I'm just using this as an example. So it's going to be so many out of each hour. Does that make sense? Out of all the people that were born and died in our hour, it's going to be out of that number, like each hour, each time dispensation. So, of course, that collectively might be a larger number, but in the time dispensation, it's going to be 1 out of 7 or three, 3 out of, whatever it is. And then you have to think about this, right? What if the 144,000 elders are all of the leaders that God has sent to the world, like Abraham knew? Because they put themselves out to be harmed to protect the people, right? Because plenty of leaders like Moses, I mean, they only tell us a few stories, but we know that these people are already. So what if that 144,000, right, the leaders of who end up being all of these people, what if it was those people for so many generations? As to why they're gonna be taken up first, like the rest of the Elishas and all of these people that had to stay here. The elders. Maybe it's been 144,000 since a certain time, right? Because again, it's out of different time dispensations. So what if there was 12,000 leaders in the first, 12,000? You see what I'm saying? Because in Revelation it says that. Because in Revelation it says that they are different than God's chosen. I was reading that last night. Okay. Because we always know that he counts the head differently from the people. When we talked about this. Because remember, this is a culmination of all of the years. This is the end of everything together. So we don't know if he's only going to take so many out of this hour, and so many out of this hour, and so many out of this hour, and so many out of this hour. You see what I mean? But the numbers is scary, however you want to look at it. Moving on. 1 out of 3. That 1 out of 3 out of 30,000, 1 out of 7,000, anywhere in between there is still scary because it's a lot of people. But God keeps saying it's not a lot, on this road. And not a lot of people are going to get in. So why is people in the world putting everybody in heaven? If God said, I did not say that. Like I want everybody to go. But I'm telling you right now that the crowd that is on the narrow road is smaller than the crowd that is on the Broadway. And those that find it, and those that don't, gonna be destroyed. What does that mean? Many are called, right? Few are chosen. Okay. So do you believe God when he said a lot of people is not gonna make it in, and it's a lot of people that don't want to suffer and don't want to choose and don't want to take off the world? Do you believe that? Do you believe a lot of people is not going to be saved? Do you believe that? Do you believe? Because it never said heaven is larger than itself, and we say this all the time, but hell is daily. Hell is larger than itself daily. Which means it needs to be bigger. Because more people are going to be there. I was just telling my sis that, and she said, I'm not going to worry about it. Interesting. Okay. All right. It says again, Bartholomew saith, and how do three, see, there it goes. So I think they might have put that 5 there in the wrong way. It says, and how do three only enter into paradise? And Jesus saith unto him, the 53 enter into paradise and are laid up in Abraham's bosom, but the others go into the place of resurrection. For the 3 are not like unto the 50. Interesting. Bartholomew saith unto him, Lord, how many souls above the number are born into the world daily? And Jesus saith unto him, one soul only is born above the number of them that depart. So it's only one extra person born over the number of the people that die every day, which is crazy. And when he had said this, he gave them peace and vanished away from them. And then it says, and Bartholomew came, now the apostles were in the place with Mary, and Bartholomew came and said unto Peter and Andrew and John, let us ask her that is highly favored, how she conceived the incomprehensible, or how she bare him that cannot be carried, or how she brought forth so much greatness. But they doubted to ask her. Bartholomew, therefore, now that's powerful because they wanted to go ask Mary, how did you carry God in your womb and can't nobody even see him or pick him up or hold him or anything? That's mind blowing to us. What did it feel like to carry God in your womb? Okay. Could you imagine? Because this is a question I've always thought about. Like, dang, what did it feel like? Not always, but, since I've been studying, like, what did her body go through? It makes me think of a girl that was going through with Jack when she was pregnant with him in Supernatural. Remember? Because it was a spiritual baby. The baby was, like, taking control of her emotions, and he was unaliving people, and the Antichrist, remember? And she had magic powers because of the baby that was in her. That's how the other ones used to say that person died before a baby was born. Yep, oh my God! OMG. It is a long-standing family tradition in our family that the dead go in threes. We have 3 babies born and 3 people that die every single... OM. Baby, I'm being smoked out of my meds today. Oh my God. I didn't even think about that talking to my son last night. Ever since I was born, my mom said, honey, they're going through these. You gonna get 3 babies and you gonna get 3. OMG. 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 My mama literally, I'm 45 and I've heard that whole my life that they go in threes. And I want to say, at my grandmother's funeral, yes, it happens in threes, life and death, y'all. Your family as well, you heard they say that in our family too. And clearly the scripture does as well in Bartholomew. You said it's been said all of your 54 years. Interesting. We never wonder where these sayings and stuff come from. And folks just be knowing stuff. Crazy. Okay. Okay. Why did you go back out? Oh, okay. Okay. Ooh, Lord. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. It said, and as they all doubted and disputed, Bartholomew came near unto her with a cheerful countenance and said to her, Thou that art highly favored, the tabernacle of the Most High, unblemished we, even all the apostles asked thee to tell us how thou didst conceive the incomprehensible, or how thou didst bear him that cannot be and again contained. It says, but Mary said unto them, ask me not concerning this mystery. If I should begin to tell you, fire will issue forth out of my mouth and consume all the world. Why is it a saying that when a person is telling the truth or they telling some real stuff that they say they spit that fire? Yeah, you didn't heard that. They spit that fire. When they telling the truth and they telling some real stuff, they spitting that fire. Why would that even be a saying? What is Enoch and Elijah gonna be able to do when they come back? When they open their mouth to speak whatever they gonna speak, fire is literally going to come out of their mouth and burn the people. Is it or is it not? Do you believe that? So do the people that blow fire out of their mouth, the fire breathers and all of that, what are they copying? The fire breathers. Ooh, the witnesses. And if this is a true story, Mary. Okay, here we go. You said Enoch too? Did Enoch? Yeah. Well, that's the two witnesses, right? And Jesus said, left us the Holy Spirit with the Spirit of truth. John was filled with the Holy Spirit in the womb. In the womb because of Jesus, so it makes sense that Mary was filled with the Spirit upon his conception. Oh, it gets better, Nisi. Come on with it. Y'all, wrap your toes up. Wrap them up. And if you got sharp toenails, don't be like scratching your legs because you might dig a hole. You ready? Let's go. Ooh. But they continued yet the more to ask her, and she, for she could not refuse to hear the apostles, said, let us stand up in prayer. And the apostles stood behind Mary. Excuse me. But she said unto Peter, Peter, thou chief, thou great pillar, standest thou behind us? Said not our Lord. Oh, Lord, goodness gracious. The head of the man is Christ. Now therefore stand ye before me and pray. Why is it doing this? But they said unto her, in thee did the Lord set his tabernacle, and it was his good pleasure that thou shouldest contain him, and thou oughtest to be the leader in the prayer. But she said unto them, ye are shining stars, and as the prophet said, I did lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence shall come mine help. Ye therefore are the hills, and it behooveth you to pray. The apostle said unto her, thou oughtest to pray. Thou art the mother of the heavenly King. Mary saith unto them, in your likeness did God form the sparrows, and sent them forth into the four corners of the world. But they say unto her, he that is scarce, the scarce contained by the, see, they keep cutting it out, but they were saying, he that can't nobody find was contained in your womb. So they're cutting out pieces, but we're going to go on to 13. It says, then Mary stood up before them and spread out her hands toward the heaven and began to speak thus. A whole bunch of words that was not in mine. I'm skipping all of that. I'm not even about to try to say them, y'all. In the Greek tongue, here we go. It says, O God, the exceeding great and all wise and King of the world, thou art not to be described, the ineffable. Thou didst establish the greatness of the heavens and all things by a word, that out of darkness didst constitute and fasten together the poles of heaven in harmony. Didst bring into shape the matter that was in confusion? Didst bring into order the things that were without order? Didst part the misty darkness from the light? Didst establish in one place the foundations of the waters, that thou that makest the beings of the air to tremble, and art the fear of them that are on the earth. Thou didst settle the earth and not suffer it to perish, and filled it. I don't know why they do all of that. Which is the nourisher of all things, with showers of blessing. The Father, thou whom the seven heavens hardly contained, but who was well pleased to be contained without pain in me. Thou that art thyself the full word of the Father, in whom all things came to be, give glory to thine exceeding great name, and bid me to speak before thy holy whatever. See, this book be cutting it out. But basically, Mary was praying to Jesus and said, okay, praying to God like, hey, I'm about to tell this story, but let me go into detail about what all I know you did, and I know that people don't believe me, but you was contained in me, so grant me permission to speak. Okay. Ain't this, you said there was a series like that on Netflix. On what? Is this interesting to y'all? Because we never get to hear nothing about Mary, do we? You don't think that it's odd that a lot of the books tell what she went through and what Adam and Eve them went through and what she was feeling, and this is important, and all of this is hidden. Hello. You don't think it's important? It is to me. It's very important. Right. All right. It says, and when she had ended the prayer, she began to say unto them, let us sit down upon the ground. Come thou, Peter the chief, and sit on my right hand, and put thy left hand beneath my armpit. And thou, Andrew, do so on my left hand. And thou, John the virgin, hold together my bosom. And thou, Bartholomew, set thy knees against my back, and hold my shoulders, lest when I begin to speak, my bones be loosed one from another. That's crazy. And when they had so done, she began to say, when I abode in the temple of God, and I received my food from an angel. Is that true? Do we know that that's true? And we know that that's true from what book? From what book do we know that that's true? We read that together, you and I, me and you. The infancy and the proto-evangeline, the birth of Mary, the infancy of Jesus. We know this. She was 3 years old when she was taken to the church, the monastery place, the temple. And we know for a fact that she had virgins around her that was born on the same day that she was born. And she could not be touched by no man at all. So, right. And the angels came and fed and taught her. Did they not? We read this in the infancy. Or the birth of Mary. Okay. Okay. Here we go. It says, on a certain day there appeared unto me one in the likeness of an angel, but his face was incomprehensible. And he had not in his hand a bread or a cup, as did the angel which came to me aforetime. And straightway the robe of the temple was rent, and there was a very great earthquake, and I fell upon the earth, for I was not able to endure the sight of him. Who is that? Who is that? then okay. And straightway the robe of the temple was rent, and there was a very great earthquake, and I fell upon the earth, and we read that 17. But he put his hand beneath me and raised me up. And I looked up into heaven, and there came a loud cloud of dew and sprinkled me from the head to the feet. And he wiped me with his robe and said unto me, Hail, thou that art highly favored, the chosen vessel, grace inexhaustible. And he smote his garment upon the right hand, and there came a very great loaf. And he set it upon the altar of the temple, and did eat of it first himself, and gave unto me also. And again he smote his garment upon the left hand, and there came a very great cup full of wine. And he set it upon the altar of the temple, and did drink of it first himself, and gave also unto me. And I beheld and saw the bread and the cup whole as they were. Interesting. Where do we know this from? What is that a part of? Hello? What is that? The Last Supper, communion, and baptism. Baptism, the communion, and the drinking. All of this is Passover, Last Supper, communion, all of that, right? Will you agree? And mind you, who's able to put the showbread in the who does that? The high priest. And Jesus was and is the ultimate high priest. Is he not? All right. It says, and again he smote, we got that, and he set it upon the altar. He also gave it to me, and behold, I saw the bread and the cup whole as they were. Okay. So he gave her the wine. He drank first. She drank it. Then the cup was back full. He gave her the bread. He put the bread up there. He ate some and she ate some. And when she looked back, there was nothing wrong with the bread. It was a full loaf and the cup was full. What is that? Remember, right above here, the temple was rent. An earthquake happened and she fell upon earth. Do y'all realize he was showing her his crucifixion and how he was going to rebuild the temple? The cup of... No. Look at what... Okay, go back up here. Go back up to 15. And when they had done so, she began to say, when I abode in the temple of God and received my food from an angel on a certain day, there appeared unto me one in the likeness of an angel, but his face was incomprehensible. We couldn't explain it. Now, she could see his hands. She could see his feet. She could see his body, but she couldn't see his face. How many times have you had a dream like that? You can see everybody else's faces except for the person that was directly talking to you. It's blurred. But you can see their hands, their feet, their everything. Just like this. That happens on TV right now. It happens. But it happens on TV now. They'll show us the person's body, but they face be blurred so we can't see it. Okay. All right. Now she's already in the temple of God. Okay. There's somebody that came in the likeness of an angel, but it wasn't an angel. We know this was Jesus. He had not in his hand. So she said, I was used to the angels coming, and when they got to me, they already had bread and my food in their hand. This person came to me. They kind of looked like an angel, but you couldn't describe the face, but he didn't have no bread or nothing in his hands. And right after that, and straightway the robe of the temple was rent. When was the robe of the temple rent? When? At the crucifixion. After it was rent, what happened? There was a great what? Earthquake. Okay. All right now. And I fell upon the earth, for I was not able to endure the sight of him. What happened when Jesus came back after the earthquake? They didn't recognize him. They couldn't look at him. He was so bright. Is this not what happened? They got to see him in his divinity. Yes or no? Right? Okay. Interesting. Okay. So let's go back down here to 20. It says, in 20 it says, and he said unto me, yet 3 years, and I will send my word unto thee, and then shalt, and then, this is supposed to be unto thee, and then thou shalt conceive my son, and through him shall the whole creation be saved. Did Mary know what she was signing up for? He told her when she was going to get pregnant. We know she was 14, so she had to be about 11 at this time. Did she not? Eleven or 10 or 11. Because she had Jesus about 13, 14. No one but Mary recognized him. Okay, here we go. All right. Peace be unto them. So it says, and when he had said so, he vanished away from mine eyes, and the temple was restored as it had been before. And as she was saying this, fire issued out of her mouth, and the world was at the point to come to an end. But Jesus appeared quickly and said unto Mary, utter not this mystery, or this day my whole creation will come to an end. And the apostles were taken with fear, lest haply the Lord should be wroth with them. I'm about to go, but I'm going to let y'all read the rest of that, and it gets better and better. And yes, I did read it. It gets real good. If you want to read it yourself, you can. But yeah. So this is what I read yesterday, and I was reading it the day before. This is what I've been on. So it's more, even more juicy stuff in there. But I just wanted y'all to see how interesting this Bartholomew is and how it fits into all our other studies. Thank you, Miss Diaz. So, if y'all want to go ahead and read it, and then we can talk about it later or tomorrow or whatever. You're happy I'm reading it. Me too. Me too. Because it make my toes wiggle. And I feel happier when I do. Because I get to, like, my toes get to wiggle again. And it's not just like, oh, you know. But I'm excited because I want to know everything before we leave here. No matter how scary it is, I want to know. You're welcome. Yeah. So tonight is going to be a movie. Now, I'll probably get back on here. We're going to see how it go. We'll see. If not, watch your movies and finish reading this, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow. But I've been missing y'all, so I can't promise because my kids have been taking up a lot of my time, which I'm excited about. I've been having hours and hours conversations with my kids. So that's it. Like, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to go to work, and they just keep on talking. So I think they miss their mama, and they know the world is in, and they're trying to spend as much time seeing as how we're not together physically. They've been doing that. So I love y'all. And I'll probably get back with y'all later. Thank you for it, please. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, happy birthday, Pumpkin. Jamila, happy birthday, baby. I did not know. Happy birthday. My daughter's birthday tomorrow. Yes, I love y'all too. Oh, but y'all ain't done. I need y'all to read together. I need y'all to read it together because it gets even juicier going down. I promise it do. You keep on reading, you're going to be like, wait a minute. It's real good. Jamila, everybody say happy birthday, Pumpkin. Yes, the Taurus is here. They are. Yep. So, I love y'all. I will see y'all in a little bit. Or tomorrow. It'll probably be this evening because it's Thursday. I don't know. We'll see how it go. I don't know. I really don't. I don't want to promise y'all. But I hope y'all toes is wiggling and stuff. Everybody say happy birthday, Pumpkin. They did. Happy birthday. Ooh. Let me go to the house and it's on and pop it up. All right. Well, I hope y'all have a good reading time. Take some notes. We'll discuss. We will discuss. Okay? But that's why I say, like, I don't know. I can't say that it's canon, but it sure sounding interesting. You hear me? And it's putting some pieces together about stuff that we thought we knew and didn't know and where the holes is at and why they won't tell us. But then they couldn't sell us these TV shows if we knew that Jesus did it all first. You hear me? They couldn't sell it to us as myth and all of these things if we know that they're whole, which makes sense because, again, everything in here is making y'all think about movies. And they told us that it's not real, but Jesus was doing it all first. Auntie. They couldn't sell us these movies. Because then we would know it's the word. But look at how the devil done tricked everybody up. Oh, don't believe in the Bible. It's not real. While they selling it to you the whole time. Thank you, Pumpkin. Selling you the Bible the whole time. Whether it be through Marvel or any of this other stuff. Selling it to you the whole time. So, I love y'all. I'll see y'all in a minute.